right? It doesn't mean that you have to get a bunch of knowledge, just enough. Whatever you know, you can share it with someone. If you don't know something, you can say, I don't know, right? So, sincerity, knowledge, hikmah, wisdom. How to apply the knowledge you know. You know, to the right degree, at the right time, with the right individual. Some wisdom, some hikmah, positivity. The inviter to the deen of Islam shouldn't be talking about all these negative aspects. Imagine the Prophet ﷺ got up and said, oh, you know, worship Allah alone and stuff. A lot of these people are throwing, you know, camel intestines on me when I'm praying. Did we hear the Prophet ﷺ talking like this? He would not whine about his situation. He would not say, you know, how the Quraysh are mistreating us and look at this. He was never speaking from an aspect of being under. He was always speaking above him that which was better. It made him always a person who was positive, who was always foregoing into something better. Patience is the way of a caller to the deen of Islam. This issue of patience has to do with not sitting back and, you know, a guy who's patient, we can't picture a guy who's patient who just, mashallah, is like waiting for a bus and he's patient because the bus is not getting there and just not doing anything. That's not patience. Patience is to move forward and do what you need to do even though there's all this stuff holding you back. And you're just patient, navigating, and keep going and keep going. The Prophet ﷺ's patience, the very source of it was the salah. To establish the salah and to remain patient. Connect to Allah Azza wa Jal, to always ask Him for guidance, you know, support, etc., but then to continue. Adaptable, a person who also adapts at every given circumstance. This is something that is very important and relevant. This issue of being relevant, brothers and sisters, is a struggle nowadays in this world when it comes down to even dealing with the youth. If we don't understand the world that the youth are growing up in, we are going to disconnect in a way that the youth will not understand us. We won't understand them, they won't understand us, so you get something called a generation gap. So you're living in two worlds, but you think you're living in the same world, but we're not. So if that happens with the youth, how about the non-Muslim? If we can't sit down with them and make something relevant, if someone understands some aspect, let's say, of Islamic finance, and shows the way that, you know, not dealing with interest can actually empower a human being, even now because of the crisis that's happening with the, you know, whole financial system and everything, if you understand how to talk in that way and be relevant, and somehow they realize that your deen does not contradict even what the non-Muslim institutions are trying to do now, right? Then we won't really have too much to talk about with it, right? So being relevant is very important. In continuation, this is where it gets interactive. This is where we go back and forth, you know, amongst each other, inshallah. This is a question here. Who are the invited? Who are the people who are invited to the deen of Islam? Okay? Now, I remind you, we were non-Muslims, so we know how non-Muslims think. All right? You give us the benefit of the doubt on that? Yes or no? No? Maybe we don't know, right? Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to act like a non-Muslim right now. And some of you were talking about the fact that you guys saw my acting in some film or something. I do act, so now I'm going to act as a non-Muslim, okay? And there's some questions that are going to come up here. And I want to ask you those questions as a non-Muslim. Who can I get to participate from this community to go through this little role? Who can participate?
Just pick.
Anybody.
Just pick. Nobody's going to volunteer.
No cuenta. Jalil no cuenta. Okay. Who?
No, just go.
You will? You will?
Right here.
You will? Okay, mashallah. Okay. He said he will try. All right. So, alhamdulillah. Okay. So, here we go. Okay.
I can't see.
Don't worry. I'm going to implement it. It's better even that you don't say it. It's just to cue me. Okay. So, do you live around here? Around this mosque? Okay. So, let's say I live down the street. Okay? Down the street. All right? So, I wanted to ask you, I have a guy who I work with who is a Muslim, and he told me your religion is the truth. Okay? I live down the street. Do you go to Mesquite Mosque? Do you? Yes? Okay. If Islam is the truth, how come I don't know about it?
Okay. Because maybe I did not try to teach you
you don't have books to read. Nobody tried to reach in and tell you about it.
Why, if you feel you have the truth, why wouldn't you share it with me? I mean, I live right down the street, and I couldn't understand how many Muslims are in your community. About
a couple 3,000 pounds probably.
3,000, and none of them told me. They don't have books to give me?
I'm sure, but they have no, probably just no azima, no encouragement to take that extra step, extra mile, and reach in and tell somebody.
Have they told any of my neighbors? Has anyone else known? Am I the only one, or maybe my other neighbors?
Probably most of nobody. Probably.
Nobody?
How? Maybe some.
How can people think they have the truth and they don't give it to nobody else? It's only for you guys?
No, it's for everybody.
It's for everybody. So who's supposed to tell me?
Us.
I'm confused.
We are lazy.
Lazy.
We don't have time.
Do you work?
We work. And we take care of a lot of stuff, but we never have time for other reasons.
Interesting.
It's our
vision. Okay. Got it. Very good. So you're in the same community as him, right?
Yes.
And I'm continuing the question. So next question is, so it doesn't seem like you're mixing with society. I don't know. I live here, and why do you guys don't mix with society? You guys go in and out of your place, but don't really mix with society. Well, why is it?
Well, we do, but some of the things happening today, it kind of tell you the wrong information about Muslim communities.
But if I was not told by our Muslim community, because I wasn't told and I live down the street, right?
Yes.
But I've seen Muslims there, maybe about 3,000 in this mosque. So even, whatever I see on TV, I don't believe. Okay. So but I haven't had a Muslim tell me anything.
Yes.
So why, it seems like there's no mix with like society. I don't see my neighbors or people knowing who you guys are and you guys are down the street. Why is that?
Okay. It kind of, it's not because no communication. We love to invite you to come to our mosque, our community, to learn our religion or customs or whatever. But sometimes people get a little bit shy, maybe, or scared or something from the reaction that you're gonna get from us. However, if you have the time or we have more communication that we can be able to come and invite you to our mosque, I'm very sure you're gonna get a lot of experience about our religion, how peaceful it is. It is just the communication is maybe I'm scared. Maybe the language, maybe the English language a little bit weak, or maybe like I said before, the media it's not giving us our right, they always,
Well, what is your right?
My right is to be the same thing as everyone else.
So but the same thing as everyone else. We all, because we all feel all our neighbors, we know each other, but it seems like you're not feeling like you can be part because maybe language, maybe our reaction, but I'm
going to give you an example. If like what happened a couple weeks ago or a week ago or so in Paris, if the media come and show the whole community something like this and make us look very bad, all Muslim community, no matter what, because the people did that are Muslim. So it is not very easy to come and convince you because you are just non-Muslim. You're a non-Muslim, you hear the media, that's all. And you come and you hear that it is not, it's 3 times or 4 times as much harder for me to convince you that Islam is a peaceful religion.
How do you know if you haven't tried?
No, it's not I haven't tried.
I mean, with me, I never found out. Nobody ever told me. So how would you know that it's difficult for me? Because I'm thinking, if this is happening and I see it in the media and there's Muslims down the street, why can't they inform me? Because I do want to be informed.
I love to, but to reach to you is going to be twice or three times as difficult. Just like you explained to us before. See, look at these guys. You know, they are build a mosque and they put a fence around it, and they don't tell us nothing. And we try to play basketball in their place. And, you know, just like he said that before, I'm trying to reach to you, but it's getting more difficult.
Okay, what have you done to try to reach me as of today?
Not too much, not too much.
So how do you know it's difficult?
From the media.
Okay, so the media